Hello, everyone. Hi. I'm really happy I'm here. It will be quite inappropriate to talk about how awesome my company is and how great team I have. Therefore, I would like to start with thanking the organizers for actually organizing this really awesome conference. Thank you very much. So this is actually, and then thanking you guys for coming here and listening to me. It is actually an honor to be a speaker here next to co-founder of YouTube and people from Google and all these amazing companies. So I'm really happy. The topic of this talk is m-commerce, becoming Iron Man, and you'll soon discover actually why I've chosen it. Human beings have always been evolving alongside their devices since the beginning of mankind. As you can see here on this drawing, you can see cavemen. Caveman hungry, caveman needs to hunt. Caveman kills bigger buffaloes, and therefore caveman needs some super spear from Cave Walmart. Like I said, as man needs change, his devices changed as well, and they have been evolving as well. I believe we are about to take an evolutionary jump from a bearded guy in front of computer here, back to somebody with the freedom of our ancestors. And this will be all enabled by wireless, cloud-based, hosted applications, following our lives and delivering information to us through a series of seamlessly integrated devices. So long story short, in my modest opinion, we are all becoming Iron Man. How many of you have seen this film? Some, okay, great. It's called Avengers. The film gives us a glimpse into the future. It is a huge lesson in potential of context-aware computing. Do you remember all superheroes and their superpowers? For example, you can see here Captain America, but he became a hero thanks to a scientific experiment. There's also my personal favorite, Thor, who is a Nordic god. So they all have their strengths, but there is one hero who's just like, who actually stands apart, who's like any of us, and that's Iron Man. And because why he's like any of us, he's a normal human being, but his strength lays in his super suit, and his super suit actually is software. Okay. Do you remember what's the name of the computer program that Iron Man used? Any guesses? This computer program might be the main character actually of the film. It's called Jarvis, and he's one of the few characters, if I may actually describe him like that, with whom Tony spent most of his time. Jarvis is a computer program that monitors Tony Stark's home, his futuristic office, as well as his super iron suit. And Jarvis tirelessly supports Tony in his day-to-day work as Iron Man. He's also an integral part of the Iron Man adventures. His speech recognition abilities are incredible. The suit literally knows Tony Stark as a person. He knows what Tony likes, what he dislikes, can even predict what Tony is going to ask for. Jarvis, I mean, I think it's not exaggeration because Jarvis is Tony's friend. And for example, he knows that Tony is dating Pepper Potts. There is a scene in the Avengers film where it seems like Tony Stark may not make it during through his mission. And there is this quite sad scene where actually Jarvis proposes to make one last call to Pepper Potts, who's the love of Tony Stark. Okay. Okay, this is just for you to keep you entertained. What do you think it actually means? We are entering the times where we personalize actually our mobile devices. We no longer find them useful. It's actually something more than that. We can't imagine our lives without them. Would you agree with me? Could you live without your phone right now? Okay. Okay, that's very clear. Cool. I've came across a study that shows that a huge number. I can't remember the numbers. I don't want to make them up. But there was a study made that showed that a huge number of people would find losing their wallet together with their money less upsetting than losing their cell phone. How do you feel about that? It is possible, right? Okay. So nowadays, more and more people have at their disposal their very own mobile assistants, and this is kind of my assistant. The most well-known is Siri, which is Apple's baby, and it's a video that's coming. When talking to Siri, we're able to find information we're looking for. Even now, she can make appointments. From time to time, Siri is also well known to surprise us with her words of wisdom, for example, and talk about sense of life. I'd like to show you a quick video of my conversation with Siri, and I have lots of them. Some of them are funny, some of them are not even appropriate for this talk, so I've selected one. Okay.
Hey, Kate.
Why not?
Why not what?
Doesn't matter. Could you please find me the weather for Poland, please?
Okay, here's the weather for Warsaw today through this Saturday.
Thank you. What else can you do for me? Brilliant. Okay. Can you set up a meeting? Can you set up a meeting?
Okay. When?
Today. (8 p.m.)
Okay, here's your meeting. Note that you already have a meeting about meeting at 8 p.m.
Ah, okay.
Shall
Thank
I
you.
schedule this anyway?
Yes, please.
Okay, it's on your calendar for today.
Great. Brilliant. Can you tell me something funny?
Kate, I don't really know any good jokes. None, in fact.
Really?
That's what I thought.
Okay. How about meaning of life?
To think about questions like this.
Okay. I need to go. Thank you for your help.
Just doing my job.
Thank you, Siri. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay. So what do you think is the most important in this aspect? Siri is quite temperamental. She's known to respond quite well to some teasing questions, actually. But what I just showed you is what's happening right now. You can take your iPhone, you can do the same thing. And she made me look like a fool, because I already had a meeting set up, and she reminded me, oh, you actually have a meeting. Would you like me to schedule the same one or cancel one? So the devices are already reminding us, because we're humans and we make mistakes. But what's interesting about it is this, by directional conversations, and they are very important aspect for the people and the world, in my opinion, because I'm not sure how about you, but I personally like Jervis, who is, in his quite funny way, helping Tony Stark in the film, and Siri is, if you like it or not, helping us in our lives. Can you imagine the consequences of millions of people around the world liking their devices, treating them like friends? Because the devices already know the content of our emails, they know the content of our SMSs, and they might be able to predict what we like or dislike based on the information that we carry with us all day long. So can you imagine, try to imagine a world where people treat their devices as friends. What will happen when people start relying on their devices when making decisions, when buying things, when choosing what they do? Okay, I'll leave you guys with this question. Yesterday, Don Dodge in his talk said, "Phone is your computer." That's the future, and it's happening right now. I actually couldn't agree more. It is going to be huge. Just look at the numbers. There were 835 million smartphones sold. It was really impressive when Iron Man, when testing his suit, easily was receiving information about the objects he was flying nearby. Imagine you're a tourist, and such ability would be absolutely priceless. It's great that actually my phone can do similar things. Thanks to augmented reality technology, I'm able to receive information about buildings next to me. One of the projects that is actually bringing us closer to becoming Iron Man is Google Glass project. It's a really next huge step. Google Vision shows that we'll be able in real time to stream suggestions in the context of what we are seeing at the moment. It's not hard to imagine the potential it has in our personalized reality. So just try to imagine how we could use that. Imagine you walking down the street and there are buildings. There is no need to trash them with unnecessary advertisement anymore. Everyone equipped with his or her glasses will be able to see an advertisement throughout the device, not on the building. And now there is a really tricky, funny thing, and that's interesting. Everyone will be seeing a different advertisement. Okay, how does it sound? Okay. Let's look at this project maybe from a slightly different angle. Okay, what Google is developing is just amazing. But I could nominate at least two giant players who could possibly develop the same technology for themselves. Do you have any idea who I might be talking about? Any other companies? Any guesses? Okay, I've heard something, but you guys don't have microphones. Any other guesses? Who could develop their own glasses? Okay, I'll give you a hint. How about, what if one of them was this company who's already engaging millions of people every day, every hour around the world? Okay? So what would happen if Facebook developed their glasses? Ta-da! This is a picture that was taken at one of the house parties. This is a room full of strangers, and it's actually me and a couple of friends. It took us a couple of years to get to know each other, and there are like hundreds of us. We share a common interest. But imagine wearing Facebook glasses. Just you're walking into a room, and you know who already shares some mutual friends with you. Or maybe differently, as a man, you walk into a bar and you know which woman is single, which one isn't. How much better and easier your life would be, right? I think, right, if you're married, then yeah. I think if Facebook developed its own glasses, it would totally be to the Iron Man suits, in my own modest opinion. How about just walking down the street and engaging in a conversation with a complete stranger, just because you notice that they share your interests, or they have mutual friends with you? Would you actually like that? That's another question. Okay. Okay. Google Glasses are cool, but a real fun starts when your own car starts streaming to you information. And I think this is more or less near future. Do you think it's impossible to stream, for example, advertisement or products on, for example, on a windshield? I don't think it's impossible. And why is that? Because Google has already developed such technology technology can bring you safely from point A to point B. And I was really impressed when I've seen this video, when I discovered it on YouTube, and I would like to share it with you guys. And you can judge for yourself.
Andrew Chatham.
Wait, do that one more time.
Hi, I'm Andrew Chatham.
Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Chris.
No hands?
Oh, not yet.
Well, just a little bit of keyboard hands.
Are we clear?
Make sure you keep an eye on the knees there.
Good to go.
Hey guys, how we doing?
You're doing good.
So we're going out for a Sunday drive, right? 5-10 miles an hour, something like that?
Totally.
All right.
On the roof
The
of a
Google
parking deck.
self-driving car.
We are in a self-driving car.
You get to hold the keyboard.
I do. Wait, there's characters on here I don't recognize.
The Hans team will never believe this.
Oh my goodness. Go is the right word. Holy shit. Holy shit. There's no fucking hands on that wheel. Oh my god. What?
It's driving itself.
Ah! Ah! This is amazing, dude. Thanks.
Garrett, don't grab that iPhone.
Yeah, hold on.
We're going 40 miles an hour with no hand on the wheel.
The finish line is those flags.
Oh my goodness.
Manual.
Okay, some data. And now some meat driving. Geek out a little bit. Okay, so you refer to, when you put your hands on the wheel, it's meat driving?
Well, I haven't used that term before, but it's
I like that, meat driving. You're putting your meat hooks on the wheel, huh?
There's no more
Nice.
Driving versus
Crazy UI going on here that it senses some peeps over here. Oh my god, look at that. It has like all these, it's aware of all these beings. Goodness gracious, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
there you go.
Yeah. Did you like the video? Yeah. Why is that? We can talk about it later, okay? I was really blown away how precise the technology already is. They're combining actually information from Google Maps with the exact location of the car. And this car was going bloody fast. It's just incredible. This is something else that test driving on in Nevada. So I was impressed with this video. But it's more important that we can already see so many ways we will be able to implement such technology. Enough to imagine how useful it will be for blind people, where they will no longer have to rely on other people to support them, to help them drive somewhere. How about, for example, sending our kids to kindergarten? We just put them in a car, tell the car where to go, just the car will go there, someone will pick them up, and the car will wait for them to actually drive home back. So I think like possibilities are absolutely tremendous. Not even mentioning you will not you can drink. I mean, the car will just drive you home. It's fine. But so many laws need to be changed, because how about texting and driving? You can now text and drive. Why not? you'll be able to do many things. Exactly. When we hear monetization's possibilities are absolutely tremendous. Since we'll be having our hands free, we could pretty much do like everything, like all kinds of things. Watch films, listen to music, search for information, shop online. And this is just a matter of time how easily accessible it will be. I mean, the screens could be anywhere. Mobile is actually anywhere. This is any device that it's connected to the internet. But imagine you are in the car, and this car knows where we are, has access to Google information, can inform us, for example, that it's time, and we're probably hungry, we can stop, you can make a break, can even search for restaurants that are nearby, and can recommend something based on, for example, ratings. And even a car, I think, will be able to convince us it's a good time to a break. Okay. If you had a chance to listen to Mr. Swoopik's presentation yesterday, you probably heard that nowadays pretty much nothing is impossible. If there are things out there, things that you can imagine, that means that these things can be integrated. Is it correct? Good. For example, you can control your house from anywhere in the world using your mobile device. And this is just one nice video from my favorite film. Please enjoy.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. The weather in Malibu is 72 degrees with scattered clouds. The surf conditions are fair with waist to shoulder high lines. High tide will be February.
If you watch the film, you know that Jarvis, the computer system, controls every aspect of the house. And this woman was waking up in a dark room. Then she was actually instructed to get up and leave, pretty much. But the blinds were open. She was told about the weather, and it all happened in a nice way. But someone actually programmed it this way. Yeah. One second. From yesterday, I remember Mr. Swoopik said something that I remembered. Internet of Things will be connected to the Internet of Minds. Maybe I could put a question mark there. And that's a question mark, because since we evolved so far, like, the question is, what's the next step? Like, what are we going to become? And our devices are learning about us. Next step, will they interfere in our lives using personal data to recommend various consumer choices for us? Will they be integrated with our minds? Will they, like, what is the impact they'll have on our lives? I think we are already Iron Mans. Right now we have a choice, like how much and how integrated we are. Sooner or later, like, everything will be connected. And the question is actually, what are we going to do about it and how are we going to use it? Thank you. Are there any questions?
What was the last movie?
What was the last movie in the presentation? You mean that's Tony Stark house from the first part. Oh, that's from Iron Man. Yes, it's a beautiful house, and there were more scenes when everything was integrated, every device. Any other questions? Oh my God.
I have a maybe not question but a comment, because you know I like this direction of thinking. I think things will start living lives of their own at some stage. Or maybe they already do this. I mean, your Siri, I think it's a good example of formally, it's probably a question of passing the Turing test, but lots of devices are already behaving like they live life of their own. Like your car, your phone, they already kind of tell you, I need to be serviced, my battery needs to be recharged. They start issuing some messages to you, and they just cannot execute on them autonomously, but one day I think they will. If a car can drive itself, it can drive itself to the service station, and it can fill its gas tank, it can do everything.
Do you actually? Thank you for this comment. But do you think there will be time where devices will know better, and they will just refuse to do what we want them to do?
If they refuse or not, it's probably a question of the. We will still be programming them or setting the limits where they can go or not. If they will know better, probably not by themselves, but as a collective network of sensors, of augmented with knowledge databases and so on. So yeah, semantics. Exactly. Yeah.
So it becomes actually a huge responsibility to people in charge of this technology.
Yeah, I've got it's not a question, it's not a tough question, it's a comment. I read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy many years ago in a paper book, and I was recently reading it to one of my kids on a Kindle, and I realized that The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy described in the book is a Kindle. And one of the recommendations when you see a presentation like this as you go through life, look in films and fiction for things that are described that don't exist, because everything seems to be happening now. Stuff that we thought was impossible is happening. You're using examples from fiction to illustrate the new reality. And it's really interesting if you look at old science fiction to see how much of the stuff that's described as fictional is now a reality. And I can't say that everything's possible now, but it seems like the gap between what's impossible and what's possible is getting smaller and smaller. So I think it's a really good idea to take fiction and try to map it to our reality, because we're limited by our imagination now, I think. And thank you. I hope that wasn't a difficult question.
No, I absolutely agree. I remember how scared I was when I read George Orwell's book 84. It was. I couldn't imagine it. And now with everything being connected with Facebook, with all this technology, it is happening. And now it's just a question, like, if we're going to do something good with it or something bad. So I think it's our responsibility what is going to happen, and we should be choosing wisely. For example, when I was choosing this picture with Facebook glasses, I thought, yeah, that's just silly. That's going to be silly. But then I thought about it. I thought, like, why not? I mean, Facebook could literally develop their glasses because they have resources, they have technology, they could totally do it. And then walking on the street and like seeing each and every of you with a message like what we have in common, I think it's too early for me to say how if I'm more excited or more scared. I think I'm both. But this is happening. And another big player, for example, Apple could have their own glasses. So, for example, Apple could do it because they can, because their Google glasses don't look too pretty, for example. And I'm sure they will find a market for the Apple glasses. And then you could walk on the street, see a building, and then you don't like the building, then just put an Instagram filter on it, and it will look prettier. So you can create your own reality. Just create your own ad. Or for example, when Google Glasses will know what you've purchased, they will display you an ad of a product you haven't purchased yet. Because why wasting valuable, money on advertisement and to target to wrong group? So monetization Absolutely, no questions about that. It is going to happen. Question.
The slide I think was missing from your presentation was about this feedback loops, different tools like fuel band or other wearables you can use to become a better person with them, like more fit, I don't know, to learn different stuff, learn languages, gamification stuff that can help you learn languages or learn new skills. I think that was the kind of thing we were missing. You're focusing a lot about advertisement, and I think it's like the worst side of this new technology. Like you're pushing people to buy a lot of stuff they don't need, and but I think the good stuff about this technology is that you can live your life better with this wearables and feedback from them. Yeah.
Thank you for this question. I just had 20 minutes, and obviously I couldn't show everything. However, I just wanted to indicate what's possible right now and what's just almost in front of us or in the very near future. And you said something about purchases, and sometimes they are necessary and sometimes they help people. Like, I don't really have much time nowadays, and I find it useful when I get recommendations. I have to remember, I'm still the one making the choice. And this is actually helping my work and life balance, because like before I had lots of free time and I could use it to make my own decisions. Now I collect the data, that someone collects the data about me that helps me make the right decisions. And I think it always comes down to us and how we respond to it, how we use it.
Also, with this tracking technologies, Google right now is spending like tons of money for lobbying in the United States to make this privacy concerns disappear. So I think it's the issue also with political issue.
When there is change, because you mentioned some political issues, data issues. I know one thing: when there is change, there'll always be issues. Always. Doesn't matter like what gets changed, because there were people, they created their laws, they feel uncomfortable with changing anything, but that's actually what drives us forward as human beings. Without change, this evolution that I showed you at the beginning just would not be possible. So yeah, absolutely, there will be issues like this text and driving. Someone created it and with good intentions, and now maybe the law should be amended a little bit. I don't know, but I'm sure there are people whose responsibility it will be to make the right decisions. But without change, like nothing will be possible. Any other questions? Yeah, that's a tough question.
They already do. If you look at the airplanes, commercial airplanes, they pretty much fly themselves. I mean, there's the pilot, okay, because usually the passengers would be scared if the plane would fly without a pilot in the front, but really the plane flies itself. And I think we are much closer to self-flying planes than to self-driving cars, because automating flight is much easier. You just have to take care of takeoff and landing, which takes place in very well-prepared environments, I would say, the airports. There is no child that can run in front of a flying plane. There are no turns, and so really we are pretty close there. And actually, a modern plane will not allow the pilot to do certain things at all. I mean, in direct law, in normal law, sorry. In alternate law, when the computers fail, then the pilot has to take over. So maybe this is the same like with self-driving car. The driver has to be there. This is the law. for emergency where the car cannot handle because every application has its limits. So this is still what distinguishes things and humans, that we pretty much can handle any situation, and computers can handle only from here to there. And when something goes off limits, then they just disengage and leave you with the problem.
I think that's a really good comment. Comparing it to this autopilot mechanism, because I came across a study that 90-something% of the time is controlled by a machine, right? Just a few steps, just landing and takeoff is run by a man. So what it shows is that we humans are necessary to make decisions and to monitor the devices. Pretty much, the process can be taken care by the machine. And also was funny in this video of the Google car, when they would like pretty much announce the me driving mode. So once you touch your once you put your hands on a steering wheel, it will be me driving. I think it's just something from a film rather than reality. And they were playing with it. That's cool. Any other questions or comments? I'm sorry I don't have t-shirts to give you guys away. Next time I should have an Iron Man t-shirt. But you were really helpful with your questions.